Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we're having a look at yet another wonderful mod, this time in the form of Sorano Floating Islands, which is being made by user Doll13th. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is, well, the Sorano Floating Islands, which are kind of odd, I have to admit. This is not something I really expected to be showing on this series, but I saw it on the Nexus, it made me chuckle, and so here we are today. Now this floating island actually serves as a custom player home added into the game on magical floating islands, which definitely seem like they'd be more at home in the Elder Scrolls franchise. But I mean, come on, we've seen weirder things in Fallout, so it's not that far-fetched, honestly. But where you can find these islands once you do have them installed is in the southeast corner of the map. If we actually go over there, over by Spectacle Island, you see them right here to the east of Spectacle Island, where we have two different waypoints. Now these are actually two different independent files. This mod comes in two parts: the Sorano Floating Islands, which is the main house there in that central island, and then the second file that you can download adds in the helipad, which is that island over there. And you can fast travel to whichever one you desire, just whichever you please. And the helipad's quite good because it's large enough of a surface that if you do call in a Brotherhood vertibird, it will land there, so that's quite good to have. Assuming, of course, you didn't kill the Brotherhood like I did in the game. But yes, there are the lovely floating islands. Now let me just get into my power armor here so we can do a little bit of flying around on them momentarily, and then fast travel up there. And a good thing I should point out is, of course, with the fast traveling to this location, it's an island, so you may be wondering, how in the world do I discover these locations like you have to with most locations in the game? Well, thankfully, the mod comes pre-discovered, so once this is loaded in, you'll immediately be able to fast travel to them without any worries whatsoever. So let's just go right over to the Sorano helipad, as I believe that'll be a good place to start, and show off what all this lovely little place does have on hand for us. And it's kind of a nice place. I honestly do quite enjoy it.
Do you mind keeping an eye out for a second?
Yes, you go and run your diagnostic, Nick. So here we are on the helipad here, with some lovely vegetation growing around the outside, and some trees, which seem very strange to have sitting right next to a helipad, especially with how the Brotherhood of Steel pilots fly. But nonetheless, they are there. Now, Nick, where in the world did you go? Oh my god, you moved there. I'm going to tell you to stay so that you don't follow me while we're walking around. And from the helipad, we can see the other main islands. Now, we have a couple of little smaller floating islands off to the side that you can see there and there. And then we have, again, that central island, which is where all the crafting is done, and then our main house. Now, to get between the islands, we have these lovely stone walkways, which we can go to, and you can see we have a little waterfall starting off there, and then we go over to this island, and then onto the central island, which I believe is my favorite of them, because, well, frankly, it's where all the crafting stuff is, especially these beautiful Brotherhood power armor stations. Oh, I love these things so much more than the standard ones, but yes, we have everything you could really need for doing your crafting, plus additional storage. We have a filing cabinet here, we've got another little dresser there, a file cabinet here, and then, of course, for crafting, we have a cooking stove, a chemistry station, an armor workbench, and lastly, a weapons workbench. So everything ready to go for you to basically do whatever you need to do. And of course, hey, what? Why'd you come with me? I told you to stay. Ah, jeez, Nick. And of course, we also have our workbench here so that you can add your own little touches to the island. Now, I should mention, though, this workshop is kind of odd. I actually have noticed this with other mods that add in new player homes to the world rather than editing existing ones. The workbenches, or workshops rather, don't tend to always like being newly placed in the world. So if we hit this, it tells us that we need to clear the enemies around us before we can actually do any building. Problem is, There literally are no enemies around us. So, what you have to do to get around that is go into the dialogue here, or the console rather, go into God mode, which I actually think I just disabled. There we go. And then hold down V rather than going to the workshop itself. And with God mode installed and manually holding down V to open up the workshop, it will work. So it'll be brought up and you can, do whatever building you wish to do on these islands. Now, it's mainly meant from the mod maker's perspective. It's mainly designed just so you can do furniture, decoration, etc. But quite frankly, you have full reign to even make structures. You could do whatever you want on these islands, so long as, it's within the borders, which I actually haven't really discovered where the borders are yet, because frankly, it's kind of hard to figure that out when you're floating in the middle of the sky, but nonetheless, you do have the ability to build structures, place any furniture, decoration, electricity, anything you so desire. It is all up to you because, well, you have the workshop available. Now, as for the third island that we have, this one is an intriguing one, as you may recognize it. It is your pre-war house from the very beginning intro sequence of the game, in its full restored capacity, exactly like it was back then. Even with our strange little car over here in the alcove, we can go right on inside and see all of your, well, things, like your American flag, the law diploma, everything you desire from the beginning of the game, you have here for you to use, including the TV, though it's frozen on that one image forever and all eternity, which is a little bit weird. And of course, the rest of the house is exactly the same as the pre-war section of the game, including Sean's room, so you can depressingly sit here and think about the main quest line, and then of course, your main bedroom with all the wonderful stuff in here, and actually a pretty nice view outside your bedroom window of Spectacle Island. Quite nice, really. I do enjoy it. All very well put together, and frankly, potentially a way for you to justify having this island in the game. You may think it's strange and not befitting with Fallout 4, but hey, I mean, come on, you have your pre-war house here. Perhaps it's a figment of your imagination. It wouldn't be the first time you've been on a strange trip in the Fallout franchise, and probably won't be the last. So perhaps that's a way you can justify being in your game, having this magical place. It's all a figment of your mind. But overall, it is a very beautiful, well-made player house that I quite enjoy. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Just flying around it, honestly, with the power armor is pretty cool, because you have all these individual little islands for you to explore on it, and it's just a nice place, and very well made, very well put together. Overall, I just like it. And if you would like to download it for yourself, which I would definitely say to go and give it a try, because again, it's just nice. Though I've missed the island. Oh, and I'm in the water now. Time to teleport back up. Well, no, not load. Not load. Let's not do that. Let's just go back to the helipad here and finish off. So if you would like to check out this mod for yourself, take a look at the link in the description as always. And you know what? If you build or make anything fun on these islands with the workshop, I'd love to see what you create. Perhaps you make some sort of weird contraption where you build little shacks on all these little islands to then connect together. That might be fun. But yes, definitely give it a try, have some fun with it, enjoy yourself, and of course, I do hope that you have enjoyed this video today, and that you do come back for the next. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one!